Hey, I'm Ekadoli, a 17-year-old girl with big dreams and a passion for coding. My sanctuary? My laptop or my fingers fly across the keyboard, bringing my ideas to life. It's my escape, my happy place. But in this house, happiness always comes with a cost. Ekadoli, get down here. Now, my mom's sharp voice slices through my focus like a knife. I sigh, saving my work before reluctantly heading downstairs. The living room feels like a battlefield. On one side are my parents, on the other, my younger sister, Emma. Dad's glued to his phone, probably answering late-night work emails. Mom's pacing, her face flushed with excitement, while Emma practically vibrates with energy. What's going on? I ask, already bracing for bad news. Mom beams, her voice filled with pride. Your sister just got accepted into that prestigious summer art program in Paris. Isn't that wonderful? I force a smile, fighting the bitterness that bubbles up. Yeah, great. Don't get me wrong, I love Emma. But it's tough to be thrilled when everything she does is treated like she's just solved world hunger. We need to start planning right away. Mom continues, oblivious to my lack of enthusiasm. Emma needs new clothes, art supplies, spending money. I can already see where this is heading. My stomach tightens as I think about the new graphics card I've been saving up for. Goodbye, upgrade. Mom, how are we going to afford all that? I ask, trying to keep my voice steady. Dad finally glances up from his phone. We'll figure it out, honey. Emma's talent deserves to be nurtured. Right, because my coding? That's just a cute little hobby, apparently. Later that night, I'm venting to my best friend, Michael, over video chat. His face on the screen is full of sympathy as I let out my frustrations. It's like I don't even exist sometimes, I complain. Everything's always about Emma. That sucks, Ika, Michael says, nodding. But hey, at least you've got that job at Chen Electronics, right? You're making your own money. I nod, grateful for the reminder. Yeah, Mr. Chen's been awesome. He even lets me work on my coding during the slow hours. Just then, my phone buzzes. It's a text from Aunt Jessica. Hey kiddo, heard about Emma's news. How are you holding up? I smile, feeling a small spark of comfort. At least someone in my family gets me. As I start typing a reply, I hear my parents' voices, hushed but tense, from downstairs. Curiosity gets the best of me, and I creep to the top of the stairs to eavesdrop. We can't keep spending like this, Linda. Dad's voice is firm, almost desperate. The credit cards are maxed out, and I'm barely keeping up with the mortgage. We'll find a way, Mom insists. We always do. Emma needs this opportunity. I retreat to my room, heart racing. If money's that tight, how are they planning to send Emma to Paris? Something doesn't add up, and I've got a bad feeling I'm about to find out just how far they'll go for her. The next morning, I wake up with a sense of dread. Stretching, I reach for my laptop, my lifeline, only to find nothing. My laptop is gone. Panic surges through me as I scan the room, my gaming console, also gone. What the hell? My heart pounds as I sprint downstairs. Mom. Dad. Have you seen my laptop, my console? Mom avoids my gaze, busying herself with the coffee machine. Dad clears his throat, his expression guilty. Honey, we had to make some financial adjustments for Emma's trip. The penny dropped. You sold my stuff. Without even asking me, my voice trembled, the realization hitting like a punch to the gut. It was necessary, Mom replied coldly, not even bothering to look at me. Emma's future is at stake. What about my future? I shouted, anger surging like wildfire through my veins. I need that laptop for my programming. Don't be so dramatic, Mom scoffed. You can use the family computer. I stared at her in disbelief. The family computer? That dinosaur can barely run Minesweeper, let alone any of my programs. Dad stepped in, his voice calm but firm. We're doing what's best for the family, Ekadoli. Emma's opportunity. What about my opportunities? I cut him off, my voice rising. I've been saving for months for a programming course, and you just stole that from me. This isn't about you, Mom snapped, her face tight with irritation. Stop being so selfish. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Selfish. You stole from me? We're your parents, Dad said, his tone brokering no argument. It's our right to make these decisions. Some parents you are. I spat, storming out of the room, fury and hurt coursing through me. I didn't stop running until I reached Michael's house, my vision blurred with tears. He opened the door, took one look at me, and pulled me into a hug. They sold my stuff. I sobbed into his shoulder. For Emma's stupid trip. Michael's mom overheard us and insisted I stay for breakfast. Over pancakes, I slowly calmed down, explaining everything. Michael shook his head in disbelief. That's so messed up, Ika. His mom frowned deeply. Have you talked to your Aunt Jessica about this? I nodded and pulled out my phone to text her. Her response was immediate. I'm coming over. This has gone too far. As I waited for Aunt Jessica, a memory surfaced. Last week, I'd overheard my parents arguing about money. Dad had mentioned maxed out credit cards and struggling with mortgage payments. At the time, it hadn't made sense. We weren't rich, but we weren't poor either. Now it all clicked. Michael, I said slowly, I think there's more going on here than just Emma's trip. We spent the next hour digging through my family's financial records online. What we found made my blood run cold. Holy crap, Michael whispered, staring at the screen. Your dad's been making regular payments to online casinos for months. My stomach churned. And look at my mom's credit card statements, designer clothes, spa treatments. How are they affording this? Just then, Aunt Jessica arrived. I showed her everything we'd uncovered. Oh, sweetie, she said, pulling me into a tight hug. I'm so sorry. This is worse than I thought. As we talked, another realization hit me. Wait a minute. I pulled up Emma's school portal. If she got into this fancy art program, her grades must be amazing, right? But they weren't. Emma was barely passing most of her classes. She lied, I whispered, the betrayal cutting deep. About everything, her grades, her art. And Mom and Dad just believed her. Aunt Jessica's face hardened. This ends now. I'm calling a family meeting. As she dialed, I felt a mix of dread and determination. My family had lied to me, stolen from me, betrayed me. But I wasn't going to let them keep doing it. I wasn't going to be their victim anymore. It's time for some hard truths, I said, squaring my shoulders. And it's time I started looking out for myself. Little did I know, this confrontation was just the beginning. The storm that had been brewing was about to break, and nothing would ever be the same again. Then the bombshell dropped. Ikandoli, look at this, Michael said, pulling up a website. The art program Emma got into. It's a scam. They're just after the tuition money. My stomach twisted. I confronted Mom with the evidence, but she refused to believe it. You're just jealous of your sister's talent, she snapped. Stop trying to ruin this for her. I was floored. How could she be so blind? The next day at work, Mr. Chen noticed my distraction. Everything okay, Ikadole? He asked kindly. I hesitated, then spilled everything. To my surprise, he listened patiently. You're a bright kid, he said after I finished. How about this, after you graduate, I'll offer you a full-time position here. You can save up, maybe even take some online courses. I was speechless. Mr. Chen, thank you. But my relief was short-lived. That night, I overheard Dad on the phone, his voice shaky. I'll get you the money, I swear, just give me more time. Loan sharks. My blood ran cold. This was worse than I thought. The next day, Mom cornered me in the kitchen. This is all your fault, she hissed. If you hadn't been snooping around, none of this would have happened. You need to quit that job and focus on helping the family. I stared at her, speechless. My fault? You're the one's woe. Enough, she shouted. You'll do as you're told, or you can get out. I ran to my room, shaking with anger and fear. This had to end. I called Michael and Aunt Jessica, putting them on speaker. I can't take this anymore, I said, my voice cracking. We need to expose everything. I'm with you, Michael said immediately. Aunt Jessica sighed. It won't be easy. But you're right, this has gone on long enough. We spent the next few hours pulling everything together. The fake art program, Dad's gambling, Mom's reckless spending, and Emma's lies. We compiled it all into a presentation, planning to confront them at once, with Aunt Jessica as a witness. What if they kick me out? I asked, suddenly gripped by fear. Then you come live with me, Aunt Jessica said firmly. No matter what happens, you're not alone in this. As I hung up the phone, I felt a heavy mix of dread and determination. Tomorrow, everything would change. I glanced at the framed photo on my nightstand. My family, smiling and happy. It felt like a lifetime ago. I'm sorry, I whispered to the picture. But I have to do this. For all of us. With a deep breath, I turned off the light, hoping I was strong enough for whatever came next. Tomorrow the truth would come out, and nothing would ever be the same. The day of reckoning arrived faster than I expected. With shaking hands, I presented all the evidence to my school counselor and a family lawyer Aunt Jessica had contacted. Their expressions were graver as they reviewed everything. "This is serious, Ikadoli," the lawyer said. "We'll need to involve Child Protective Services." What followed was a whirlwind of investigations and shocking revelations. Dad was suspended from his job when his gambling addiction came to light. Mom's credit card fraud and tax evasion were uncovered, leading to criminal charges. Emma's web of lies unraveled at school, putting her graduation in jeopardy. Through it all, I felt strangely numb. This was what I wanted, right? Justice. But watching my family fall apart was harder than I had ever imagined. Aunt Jessica became my anchor. "You're doing the right thing," she reassured me. "Sometimes love means holding people accountable." I moved in with her, throwing myself into my programming projects. Mr. Chen, bless him, offered me a scholarship for a computer science degree. "You've got talent, kid," he said. "Don't waste it." As the dust settled, the consequences became clear. Dad faced legal action for his gambling debts and embezzlement. Mom was charged with financial abuse and fraud. Emma had to repeat a year of school and undergo counseling. And me? I graduated with honors, landed an incredible tech internship, and for the first time, felt free to chase my dreams without the weight of my family's toxicity holding me back. For a moment, I felt a pang of regret. But then I remembered all the lies, all the betrayals, and the suffocating feeling of never being seen or heard. I turned away from the past, focusing instead on Aunt Jessica's proud smile and Michael's enthusiastic cheering. In that moment, I realized something profound. Family isn't just about blood. It's about trust, support, and unconditional love. And sometimes you have to create your own family to truly thrive. Looking out at the sea of faces at my graduation, I felt a surge of hope. The road ahead wouldn't be easy, but for the first time in years, I was excited about the future. My future, on my terms. And you know what? That felt pretty damn good. The story ends here, but the conversation is just beginning. What would you have done in Ikadoli's shoes? Was exposing her family's secrets the right move, or should she have kept quiet for the sake of unity? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever had to choose between loyalty to family and doing what's right? Your experiences could help others facing similar dilemmas. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Your support helps us bring stories like Ikadoli's to light. And remember, sometimes the family we choose is stronger than the one we're born into.